Hey guys, and welcome to another video that I've recorded like 60 billion times. Not the visual has turned out really good. It's the audio I'm struggling with because I keep rambling because I got a lot to say, but I think I've got it cut down to a nice understandable segment, I hope. Anyway, so today, despite how I sound, I'm actually pretty down today. I've been struggling mentally, physically, and emotionally. And today I woke up in the worst mood possible. Actually, I never went to sleep. Let's just be honest about that. I never went to sleep. I stayed up for I finally laid down around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but I had not been to bed since 5 o'clock the previous day. So I was up for 24 hours straight. And I was dealing with some stuff, and I was wanting to hear certain things from Aaron that he was not telling me. And that's not because he was just not telling me because he was being a jerk. It was because he didn't know that those were the exact words I needed to hear. And at the time I was very emotional about it, and I was kind of being a bitch. I mean, let's face it, that's what it was. And that wasn't his fault, and I recognized that. That was my fault. That was on me. And I got to thinking, and then, because what I do when I get in that place, if I can bring myself to do it, because sometimes I'm too depressed to do it, but I wasn't today, so I made myself get up and start doing chores. I start vacuuming and cleaning because I can think while I'm doing that. So I got to thinking about how we tend to expect other people to know what we need to hear, and that's absolutely unfair of us to do to other people, because there were certain things I just wanted to hear. I mean, obviously, the big ones that I needed to hear, he was telling me, like, he loved me, and that, regardless, we were going to get through this. And what we're going through between both of us right now with our jobs and everything, not that it's anything terrible bad, it's just we're both not in good places with our jobs right now. Like, again, I'm not like in trouble or anything, I just don't feel fulfilled, and I feel like I'm not necessarily where I'm supposed to be, but for now I kind of have to be there. You feel trapped is basically it. Not that it's not got its own rewards, but there's times where I feel trapped, and I know he does too. Anyway, point being is that we tend to look to our partners or look to other people to have the magical advice or the magical words to make us feel better, and it's not fair on that other person. Ultimately, we are responsible for our own mental health, and we are responsible for our own spiritual health and our physical health. I know a lot of people want to blame McDonald's for everyone being fat, but it's not like, Ronald McDonald held you down with a gun and forced you to eat 16 Big Macs. Yeah, I would totally eat 16 Big Macs. Point being, I got to thinking about all of that stuff today, about how we put so much responsibility on everybody around us to make sure that we're okay, when we ourselves are ultimately responsible for making sure that we are okay. And it was kind of a wake-up call to myself too, because I have been neglecting myself. I have been working so much that I have not had a fresh meal probably in over a week. Today I made myself cook, and I actually had a meal, and just eating a good home-cooked meal actually made my appetite start to kick back, because I've not been hungry, because all I've been eating is fast food and quick food and just whatever I can grab on the fly, because I got to go out the door, because I got to go to work. So I've neglected myself physically, I've neglected myself nutritionally, and for that, I start to feel like crap, and it's like, I can't blame that on anybody but myself. I did that to me. So and then, oh yeah, here's a good one too, is I'm also dehydrated, so I haven't been drinking enough water. Now, that's not to say that that's affecting my mental well-being, because, whatever, but physically, I felt like crap. So I was like, when was the last time I actually drank a decent amount of water, considering I stayed up for 24 hours straight? I had worked for part of that time. And the other part of that time, I was trying to catch up on paperwork and everything else, and I had run out of water and I hadn't drank. And then I came home and I went straight to bed. So what does that tell you? It tells you I didn't drink enough water. So it's like, I need to rehydrate. I also have not been working out. Nobody forced me to not work out. I chose not to work out. And working out releases endorphins. It helps you to cope with stress. It does all that good fun crap that it helps your body regulate. And even though I am on my feet for 12 to 16 hours a day, I still need to do that extra working out where I'm not focused on the task. I'm just focused on working out. I need that because your body responds differently to that than it does to walking up and down hallways, passing meds and things like that. So I neglected myself in that area. And I've kind of neglected myself creatively because I haven't been drawing. Now that one honestly is an easy one for a lot of people to fail at, because not fail, but to neglect, because you get so busy that you just don't always have time to sit down and do a painting. But I have been doing some art, but not as much as I would like to be, and not as creative as I would like to be doing. I'm kind of forcing myself to do other stuff, but I need to get back into doing the stuff I enjoy too. What else did I want to say? And I just kind of been neglecting giving myself, not necessarily a pep talk, but reminding myself that I'm not a bad person. I think I'm probably the only person who has to do this. I hope I'm not. I don't want to sound crazy, but I on the daily have to remind myself I'm not a bad person, because when I meet opposition, I mean, because it's been like programmed into me, like I think into most kids, most people, that if you're struggling, it's because you're doing something wrong, or you did something bad, or you're paying for something, or karma's caught up to you. And while I do believe in karma, I don't believe that this is karma that I'm dealing with. I think I'm just dealing with growth. I think that it's a season of growth for me, and that's why I'm struggling the way I am. But just because I'm struggling doesn't mean I'm a bad person. And I tend to always go to this mindset, and it's a very negative mindset, that I'm a bad person. And I think it was Sylvia Browne I had heard said this. Yeah, it probably was, because I remember hearing it on Montel Williams when I was really young. Yeah, my age is showing. She said, because I think some lady got up and asked if she was a bad person, or if she'd been a bad person in her previous life, or some crap like that. And I remember her saying quite distinctly, and I believe, and it resonated pretty strongly with me, because it was something even as a child that I was terrified of, that I was a bad person. It resonated with me that she said a bad person would never ask if they were a bad person. That it's usually the best people who worry about whether or not they're a bad person, because bad people don't care if they're bad. They don't care about other people. They don't care about if their actions are affecting others. Truly good people, they do worry about whether they're doing the wrong thing, and they'll ask, am I a bad person? But no, she basically said that a bad person would never ask. And it's true, because when you stop and think about it, people who are truly, truly mean and cruel, they don't care that they're mean and cruel. They don't care if other people are affected by it. That's what makes it so easy for them. They don't have that empathy. But truly empathetic people will be very wrapped up in the fact of whether or not they're a bad person or not. So I feel like that's been a big struggle for me, and that it was hitting me hard today, because I feel like all this crap I'm dealing with right now is because I've done something wrong or bad, or that I'm this terrible, awful person. And like logically I know I'm not, but emotionally it doesn't feel that way. Anyway, and again, I'm not saying all of this stuff to just kind of be like, oh, feel bad for me. It's not at all. I'm just sharing this because I have to believe, and I can't think I'm the only one who feels like this sometimes, that we tend to, get illogical in our negative times, and that sometimes we need to pull ourselves back and that, you know, just because we're struggling, we're not necessarily bad people, or just because we're having a bad day doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means that we're human. And sometimes just pulling back and getting out of the storm long enough just to take a break and recognize that we're all human and we're all struggling in our own ways, and that none of us are bad or good. Well, hopefully we're good, but, you know, none of us are bad people for our struggles, you know, and that we can't expect other people to know what we're going through, and we can't expect other people to tell us the magical words that we need to hear. And I just kind of wanted to throw that onto a video and just kind of talk about it, because I don't know, it's what I was compelled to do, and it's my channel, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if it's too serious of a topic, I apologize. But it's the crap I'm thinking about when I'm doing cute little mouse drawings, I guess. And I mean, I needed this. I needed to do this video. I needed to record it. I needed to draw the cute little mousey and to just deal. I'm sad about a lot of things right now. I'm sad that I'm missing out on conventions that I really wanted to go to. It just wasn't in the cards. It wasn't going to happen. Even if everything had gone perfectly, it wasn't going to happen. I just got to understand that, you know, in time, I'll get to do the things that I want to do. I'll get to have the freedom that I want to have. I just need to take care of things now. If I take care of things now, it'll be a lot better for me later on. And even though I'm a little sad about it now, it's going to be so much fun later. And it's something to look forward to, not something to be depressed about because I don't have it right now. Because, you know, I'm secretly a child on the inside. Alright, well, okay, I think I've rambled on enough. You guys probably all think I'm crazy. I will not be offended if you unsubscribe. Again, I'm sorry if this is a downer for anyone. I'm just kind of letting you guys know my thoughts, and yeah. So I'm going to stop this right now. Enjoy the last few seconds of painting. Bye.